Righty, so for the second part of this reading, I now have the light switched on, so this should be a lot better. Now we're going to choose from this card, using this card, Path Unknown. The first part of the reading we basically looked at, this thing that you have to let go of, and that's past the sell-by date. And now you're going to look at what path are you going to follow, which path are you drawn to, and what will that bring you. So this is basically after you've let go of that one thing or person, situation, whatever. So a new path in life, a new direction in life, and you can choose. Now you can choose, there's three paths here. There's one here, a darker path with a fox there. I'll show it to you. There's a light path here with an acorn. And another one is there's a bit of sunlight and a bit of shadow, and there's a raccoon. And so you have now focus on that, what you want to change, after that has left your life, and which path will you then choose. Are you going to go for that bright path in the sunlight, which is basically the familiar path, the path you're currently on in a way? It's familiar, it's you can see clearly. You can't see where it's going really, but it is clear, it's lit up, and there's a lot of sunlight. And the thing is, with this path, it's reasonably narrow right now, but it can expand, it can get wider at a certain point. So sometimes it's good to stay on the path that feels more familiar to you, because then there can still be growth, right? It can still expand, the path can get wider. So yeah, sometimes that's good. You don't always have to go for something that you don't know, that's totally unfamiliar. That's not really per se the best option. It can be, it doesn't have to be. It's completely up to you. If you look at the woman, she had you can't stay here. That's one thing I have to tell you as well. You cannot stay here. You have to choose. You can't stay here for years on end. You just simply can't. Right? We have summer solstice. You just have to choose. And at some point in life, you reach these stages as well, where you get to a crossing, and you can't stay there forever. You just can't, because then your life is on hold. Then you have to make up your mind and make a decision. She's got her back turned to this darker path. So in a way, she's either discarded that as an option altogether, like, oh, I'm not going to go there, that doesn't look too inviting, or she's simply not really aware of it. That's also possible. But it might lead to something really wonderful, you just never know. Maybe the sun is shining around the bend there as well, you don't know. And then there's this other path here. It's to me that feels like, because there is partial sunlight and shade, to me that feels that it's some things along this path are familiar, because you can see them because of the sunlight. And there is also stuff that you don't know yet. So this is a mixture basically of these other two. This is a mixture. This is completely unknown. You know nothing about that path. That's why it's in the dark still. You know nothing about it yet. And this is, a mixture of these two. So here you will have stuff that you already know, or you can see what's going to happen when you take this path. And other bits and pieces you don't know yet. It's just wait and see. So which one of these paths are you going to choose? If you choose this darker path, you're going to get set number 1. I'm not going to move the camera out of the stand again. You have set number 1. If you choose the middle path, then you get set number 2. And if you choose that mixture path, so to speak, this one to the right, then you get the set number 3. And now you can choose the path, use that, or the cards that I just showed you, or you can go by the animals there. Again, I'll show them to you. Hopefully the camera is going to focus. Yep, there we have it. So you have the fox, there's 1 or 2 the acorn, or 3 the raccoon. You can also use that to choose. Now there is this one funny thing. When I was doing the cards, drawing the cards, I felt that some people were not going to be drawn to either of these paths, or we're going to feel like, oh, I don't want to go there at all, or none of these options really resonate, or I don't want to, whatever. And so I felt like doing a fourth set, which is not a path at all, and I'm calling that the mystery card. And there's this set. So you can go for that as well, for the mystery cards, but please don't be greedy, don't go for 2. Some people always go for 2 and sometimes 3 options. That basically renders a reading completely useless, you know. So just go for 1. It's maybe the best set is in here, in these 3, and not the mystery stuff. Because the mystery sounds so appealing, right? I want the mystery. But maybe that is your choice, that is possible. We're just gonna find out. So I actually hope you enjoy this reading. I'm gonna go into it. I did draw for each set a number of cards from the Romance Angels in case your question was about love. So we have at least that area covered. If you didn't ask about love whatsoever, just discard those messages, those cards, just, you know, then those are not for you. That's also with the reading. You can, from the beginning of the reading, not now, but from the beginning of the reading, you can also make a choice concerning different subjects, right? Like love and relationship, or your work, or in general, or whatever. In that sense, you can choose several options, but please don't go for several sets for just one option, because then it's just pointless. That really seriously renders a reading pointless. You know, because then there's always something that resonates with you, and just really tune into the cards, to the sets and the numbers or the paths, and really feel which one is for you and stick with that. Alright? Don't get tempted in going for a second or a third set because you don't like the messages or something. Okay, so take a minute. I'm gonna do that as well because I need a drink. I've forgotten to get myself a drink. So, alrighty, let's see what the dark path will bring you. We have the 3 of Forces and the Queen of Roses. Let's see if I can get the camera turned up like that. And that's a bird's nest, right? The young birdies, mummy or daddy feeding them a worm. And we have, I've got 3 tarot cards with this. The Knight of Cups and Death card and the Emperor card. And I feel altogether that you will have something really good happen. This can be an offer. Can have to do with love. It doesn't have to be about love, but something good, something yes, please focus. Something that makes you feel good and loved, and that warms your heart, that touches your heart, and that triggers a transformation, quite a serious transformation, because this is the Death card. And this is really a serious something, because these are 2 major arcana cards, the Death and the Emperor. And the Death card, the transformation, normally speaking, I always feel, and I think it's always the case anyway, that the person you, right, if you choose this, that you are this person, the Death person, the Lord of the Shadow in the tarot deck, staring at these people and actually longing to be there in the sunlight, and to have dealt with all the shadows and the emotions and the stuff, to have gone through that transformation, butterflies transformation. But in this case, for this reading, I feel that actually you are there already. You're either that child or that man. And well, you're an adult, so let's go for that man. Even if you're a woman, right? You've had that transformation. I'm trying to hang about. Let's see if the camera focuses again. This is probably because I'm moving my hands all the time. So the Lord of the Shadows that you're seeing there is what you've left behind. So that's the transformation. You've gone through that transformation, and that's being triggered by something that moves you, that stirs you. Maybe it can be just a compliment, something someone says to you that really makes you feel valued, and some that just moves you, really moves you, and then because of that you get that transformation, and you come out of that really empowered, because this is the Emperor. So you get out of it really empowered, with healthy boundaries, knowing what you want, being able to connect with other people, knowing what you stand for, knowing how to get it, healthy boundaries, really empowered, really strong, at peace with yourself, one on the inside, one sense of oneness. Really great, really connected, and not easily swayed anymore. You feel really strong, really, really strong. And I get that from this, the Queen of Roses as well, because she's also strong in that sense. She's loving, she's compassionate, warm, love. Well, yeah, you can see that by just looking at the card. Surrounded by roses. This can also mean a deepening of a relationship. It can be a love relationship. It can also be with a family member or a friend, or maybe even with yourself. I feel this is mostly to do with yourself and your own personal growth. And this is about creation and expansion. Right? Like children, then there is an expansion of the family, so to speak, right? And also creation. You first have to create the offspring. That is creation. This is, you also have to be in your heart place in order to be able to create. But you're going to expand. After that transformation, you're going to grow. Personal growth, expansion. And from that, you can start following your heart, living your heart's desire. And that is absolutely wonderful. And again, a butterfly, again, that transformation. But you've been through that transformation, right? Like the butterfly in that sense has gone through the transformation already as well. He came out of the cocoon. So this is, yeah, you're going through quite something quite big. This is really big. And it could be quite difficult for some time because of this death card. It could be quite difficult. But I think you are going to be really happy that this is being triggered by this. And I can't tell what this is. I can't really tell what that is. Maybe you're going to fall in love. That is possible, that you fall in love with someone, and that like a really great person, and that triggers you to, you know, and then you start shedding your skin in a way, like, you know, getting rid of all beliefs and limiting stuff, things that held you back, and poor self-images maybe. Thinking you weren't worthy, not good enough, and blah blah blah, because this person is not about you. That is a possibility. It doesn't have to be, it can also be completely something else, but it is something that moves you, that touches your heart, and that triggers that transformation, and you're going to come out of that really strong, and then you grow even more and more as a person, as an individual. Serious expansion. And if you asked about a relationship, that can still go with that message. It doesn't have to be. So if you didn't ask about a relationship, then completely discard these messages, please. Then we have a separation and release your ex. So this, it could have to do with the other cards, with the transformation, that maybe you will break up with someone you're currently with or seeing, or someone you thought was going to be the one for you, and that is not going to work out, and that you're going to let them go, or they break up with you, of course, also a possibility. But it always, I don't know, it always strikes me that this woman seems to be far more okay with them parting than the man. He is holding his heart, he is guarded, he's wearing this armor, and she is not. So even if this is true, then you might be hurt, of course. A breakup is never pleasant, but then deep down you likely know that it is the right thing, that it has to happen, that it wasn't okay anyway. And what you get after that, you have to then, you need the time to get over that, to get them out of your system. It can also mean that this happened before, earlier, and that you're still dealing with the after effects of that. So that you already had that separation a while ago, but the energy of your ex is still lingering, and you need to deal with that. That is also possible. And what you can expect then in the future is this. So that is really good. It's passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And then the honeymoon card. The divine connection, right? With the angel as a gondolier. So something beautiful does wait, does await you. Something is there for you. Now, I do get the sense that in this case it does connect with these other cards, that it has to do with that. And maybe the story is almost like this, that you were in this place of hurt and separation and pining over an ex still, and then you met someone new who suddenly really loved you, and maybe the ex gave you a bad feeling, like as if you weren't worthy, not deserving, etc. And this person is the complete opposite of that. It's the complete opposite of that, and then you start to feel so worthy and so wonderful and so good that triggers this transformation, and then you start to feel empowered, and then you can finally grow and become an empowered woman, really. And then you get that passion and honey. So it could be that the whole lot ties in together after all. It wasn't meant to be that way, but it is possible, of course. So, yeah, in that sense, please let me know if that resonated. If that resonated with you. Because I'd like to know. I'd just really like to know, because doing a reading like this flowchart stuff is, it's an experiment in a way, but I like it. I'm really enjoying it. And you are really in a good place. You really are in a good place. I mean, the Emperor, completely empowered, and the Queen of Roses. This is absolutely wonderful. So I hope this resonates with you, and thank you for watching. And yeah, if you liked it, then please give me these likes and some comments. And then I'm moving on to the numbers 2. Let's see, let's first get into these. Right, we have the One of Roses, commitment. Then we have the Four of Scrolls, the karmic trench. 8 of Forces, Archangel Raphael, and this is the Two of Roses. But then it came out reversed. Let's see, that would clarify cards. What can you expect? This is if you chose that middle path, right? That's a sunlit path. If you really commit to this path, to this new path, your heart's desire, basically, right? Because that's what this is about. Your heart's desire, you really commit to that. As in signing a contract, so to speak, even if it's just with yourself, then you will get this entire playing field. It will be at your disposal. The entire playing field is yours, is waiting for you there. And you will have to work still, right? Like that man, he's still digging, and then he has to sow the seeds, and you will have to tend to the plants, and there's a lot of these trenches, right? Is a huge field, but you don't have to do it all in one go. You can take your time. But since it is karmic, in a way this card says that he could already start sowing seeds, but he keeps digging and digging and digging. And it's to do with patterns as well. Repeating patterns, being stuck in patterns, and doing the same thing over and over in that sense. And so then you get the same result, right? If you do what you did, you get what you got. And, well, most of the time we want different results. So in that sense, yeah, we also had the lightning bolt with that. I do feel you will you will have a lot of impact with what you do. With whatever it is you're sowing, whatever it is you're going to do, you will have an awful lot of impact. And really have an awful lot of impact. And you can also use that lightning bolt to break that pattern. And now there was more to that card. Yes, because there's rain. It's raining, and I'm not certain if you can see that. Yeah, you can. It's raining, meaning it's been cleansed, purification. Also, the lightning bolt. Lightning actually also cleanses the energy. When there's lightning outdoors, it does something with the ions. That's what you call it, isn't it? Ions, yeah. They get the positive ions will be converted to negative ions, which are healthy. Positive ions to us are not healthy. And so in that sense, lightning is really healthy, because then the energy is really healthy for us. And so it's also purifying, it's also cleansing, and that you can use to cleanse these patterns. And I got a clarifier for that, for these two, because this speaks of difficulties in a way. There is a broken cup on the table, and there is this dove is soaring higher up. There's an angel behind it, and there's a hawk. They both have a message in their beak, and this is an indication of trouble. And also because there's this broken cup on the table. There's no people here either. This could be a romantic, lovely setting if only there was two people. But it came out reversed, and then it's worse in a way. But then it still goes that this dove is your spirit in a way, is still above the problems, even in its reversed position. I'm not making that up, that's what the book says. So in spite of these problems, you can still rise above it. And there's help. There's help. Because this comes with it. There's help from Archangel Raphael, healing and help. And what this says is that Archangel Raphael often comes into your life as a real person, or plural, so several people, to do his work, so to speak, right, and help you. So there is help. So in a way, you don't have to do this alone. You won't have to go about this alone. But that can also help you to get out of that routine, out of that pattern. You will have an awful lot at your disposal. That entire field. So you have something really important to do, whatever it is. Whatever it is. I think it's, for you, I feel it's really quite big. It's going to have a huge impact. It's going to have a huge impact. It's almost as if all elements are in here as well, right? We have water, and we have fire, and we have the earth. Well, wind. There's likely to be wind as well with a storm like that. So all the elements are there. And I get a sense that you are going to be an innovative, come up with something new, or be different with something that's already there. Like the tree is already there, but it gets hit by that lightning bolt, which is your energy. After that, that tree is never going to be the same anymore. It's not going to be the same at all anymore. So in that sense, like either I'm trying to find the right word here. You're going to completely change something, a method or something, or you're going to come up with something completely new. You will have an a tremendous impact. Whatever it is that your heart's desire is. And I don't know that, right? Because this is not a personal reading either. So I hope you, for yourself, have a bit of an idea as to what your heart's desire is. It is going to be good in any case, right? So you don't have to worry about that at all. Now what do? Oh, I put them there. And there's going to be help, there's going to be other people. You don't have to go about it alone. Not even if it does get difficult, you will get help. So also pay heed if other people tell you, like, why are you always doing something like that? And shouldn't you maybe think about doing this, that, or the other? Then maybe you should think about, hey, am I actually doing this pattern thing again? You know, maybe you should try doing it a different way, as opposed to keep digging and digging and digging. Just stop it and let that lightning hit you too. To be aware of that, to notice that, and because it's time to start sowing. It's time to start sowing. You have to know, you have to stop digging and start sowing. Alright? I hope that's clear. Then let's see for your Romance Angels cards. Again, if your question was not about love whatsoever, then completely discard the following messages. Right? And if you did ask about love, or if your question was about love, then, well, let's see if they tie in together. I haven't a clue. We have finances and career and trust, and very soon. This can be an indication that you are too focused on work, on in your head, basically, on doing and must do this, have to do that, and you know, as opposed to having a bit of fun. So this can be an indication that you must also balance your life with well, having a bit of a break, having a bit of you time, and having a bit of fun, going out and enjoying life, being playful. It's not just work, work, work. Alright, so try to do that. Try to implement that in your life. And then we have the trust card. This situation is calling for you to have faith. But this positive, that looks good. Just trust that it's going to work out. It's going to happen for you. Because he is taken with her, just like she's taken with him. It's just not the kind of couple where he will stray, I don't think. You know, they look dedicated to one another. Yeah. And then also clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. And in order for that, you know, if you want a relationship, then you also have to focus on other things than just work, work, work. Because then, yeah. If you really want a relationship, but all you're doing is working, working, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that, or maybe worrying about money, having to make ends meet, well, then you're not busy, you know, attracting this romantic partner. So focus on that as well. Make some time for that, focus on that, and also decide what it is you want so it can come to you. Yeah. And it's going to work out. It's going to work out. So, please let me know if that resonated with you. Especially this bit, because of this with the trench. I'm really curious. Right, that was it for the sunlit path. Yeah, please let me know. And moving on to the numbers 3, who chose that path to the right. I need a bit of coffee. So I need to check how much time I have left. So I do not want a third video. Alright. For you, we have the... if you follow that path to your heart's desire, what you will get is the Akashic Field and Uriel and the Sphinx. Northern Lights, Uriel and the Sphinx. And this is about being in touch with your intuition. And now I did have something else earlier as well with this card. And this is about tapping into your strength, your inner strength and wisdom, because that's what the Sphinx is all about. And that this also says that that could take time and trial and error, because like the Sphinx was covered in desert sand time and again, and it had to be dug out time and again. So in that sense, it's like trial and error, or maybe you stray from your inner wisdom and your inner guidance, and that you have to turn back to it. Like Uriel is standing in front of the Sphinx, and then you have to dig it up again, you know, get in touch with it again, connect with it again. So in a way, I feel for you, it's you're going to be. I think I was doing that, yeah, the infinity symbol. You're both connected with your intuition and with your inner strength and wisdom. So it's really nicely connected like that. Nicely connected like that. That means that you're coming from a place of power. I love infinity symbols. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. I think, weird. Don't let yourself be bothered by ghosts from the past. Why am I thinking that? Because it's as if I see a face in that cloud or nebula. And new things will keep coming up for you. Because it's almost as if there's new, different streams of light coming out of the ground. Yeah, so different new things will come up for you, new ideas, new things, new ventures, whatever. But don't get scared by no, not ghosts from the past, because you have the strength and the inner strength and the wisdom. You can deal with it as long as you stay connected. The infinity symbol again. Connect your intuition with your inner strength and your wisdom and your intuition and that infinity symbol. Huh. Yeah. You will get really balanced. You will get really balanced. Whatever it is you want to do, what your heart's desire is, you will find balance and you can do it. You can do it. I think you're not that far off, actually. I don't think you're that far off. Even before the summer solstice, I think you're not that far off. Alright. Well, let's quickly look at your romance cards. Again, that could have to do with the other two cards if your question was about love. Otherwise, if your question was not about love, then completely discard the rest now. And otherwise, they could be connected to these other two. I don't know. We have the soulmate card and the heart-to-heart conversations. We have calling in your soulmate, and this could be the one. Well, bloody hell. Wow. Well, I don't think that needs any further explanation, okay? This is basically unreal. You're likely going to meet someone that you really connect with, and you feel that from the word go, right? This could be the one. Yeah, he is the one because he's your soulmate. Maybe you are deliberately working on calling in your soulmate. And then you actually meet that someone, and then you're thinking, well, that could be the one, that could be my soulmate. And then you have these open conversations, heart-to-heart conversations, and it really works out. And then, wow, yes, this is my soulmate, I found him. That could indeed very well be connected to these two cards. If you're coming from a place of balance, in a balance, as infinity symbol, and that strength and wisdom and intuition, then you are in the right place to actually call in your soulmate and meet them, and you know, yeah. So that's your reading. It was a bit short, but yeah, it is beautiful. Very, very positive. And I think you are really close to this, as it is. As well as with the love stuff. So, please, if you liked it, then give me the thumbs up and like it. And let me know. Give me some feedback if this resonated with you. I'm really, really curious. Right, for the last ones, the people who did not choose any of these paths and chose the magical card, magical card set, because there's quite a lot of cards actually. What we have first is the garden with the children, and the boy is looking through a oh, it's a catapult. Yeah, he's using a catapult, and the girl is looking through a magnifying glass at a butterfly. And looking in the same direction, and then then you have to look at the card next to that to see what they are investigating. What are they looking at? What does that transformation have to do with? And etc. This is basically your comfort zone. What you already have created, your comfort zone. Playfulness, creativity as well, like children, right? Is well, you have to create children. So and children can also be IDs. Is metaphorically, it can also be metaphorically children. Anyhow, then I drew a card to see what they are. Yeah, what's to the right of this, right? Because he's aiming to the right. She's looking to the right, and then we have fated meeting. Wow, so this is likely about love, although it doesn't have to be. Can also be a fated meeting concerning the work you really want to do, or getting a job, or study, whatever. It can be anything in that sense, but yeah, I do feel the love vibe with that. With this, and it's 1 minute to 12, 1 minute, so it's about to happen, almost. And then I wondered, okay, well, is this it? You know, these two cards? It's a bit too easy then, right? Because that would mean that everyone who chose this is going to have a fated meeting. And, well, it is in the cards, for sure, right? But I thought, well, let's look a bit further, like, because this is not happening yet. It can happen, but it's 1 minute to 12. So, then I take it that something has to happen first, so that when the bell starts tolling at 12, that you actually have that fated meeting. Otherwise it might not work out, if you catch my drift. So I drew another card, and look at that, we have Kali, destruction. And I thought, wow. Well, that basically means that something has to leave your life. Something has to end, has to come to an end. You have to let go of something, which comes down to an old door has to close before the new door, the fated meeting, can come in. Otherwise, it cannot happen. So something you have to, yeah, there is some unfinished business like this. Something that has to be dealt with before you can have your fated meeting. Something you have to let go of. And let's see what else it did say. Don't give up, keep going. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So if you're going through something difficult, that can also be the message. And that everything happens for a reason. Release the old. Release the old, so the new can enter in. And walk away from harsh energies. And this also says that a new relationship is waiting in the wings. Remember that everything is divinely timed. It is. But you still have to let go of something before you can have that divinely timed fated meeting, whether it's love or work or whatever. So I drew a few more cards. And then look at this. This is, well, let's first look at that one. Lord Ganesh. He is the remover of obstacles. So again, letting go of something that is holding you back, something that isn't finished, that isn't done yet. And then the other two cards, so that's basically confirming Kali, right? Then the other two cards, Master Jesus and Mother Mary. Forgiveness, so letting go of something, tying up loose ends. Maybe you have to forgive yourself, someone else, for whatever happened in the past, and find love and peace for yourself on the inside, but also for anyone else. And the funny thing is that this card, Master Jesus, says that Father healing is possible at this time. Mother Mary, Mother healing is possible at this time. And I was like, what the F? So maybe whatever it is that you have to deal with still, the unfinished business, maybe it's to do with something from your past with your parents. Because we have father healing and mother healing. It's like, well, that's really peculiar. What? So, yeah, I wonder how that resonates for you. And the thing is that if you tie up these loose ends and allow Kali to take that out of your life, to, you know, to let go of it, and then you can have your fated meeting. Then it can happen. But it's quite urgent, because you have only 1 minute left, right? And in divine timing, soul timing, that can be about 3 lifetimes maybe, but it doesn't really matter. It is quite urgent. There's only 1 minute left. All right, and then I thought about drawing these cards, the romance angels, because I thought, well, this is actually enough. But I thought, well, let's go for it anyway. The romance love angels, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. You will have the chemistry, strong magnetic attraction, and new love. So that can be a new person. I feel for most of you it is going to be a new person. But if you are seeing someone or with someone already, then it can also be that your love will be rekindled, or you will get to higher levels of love, deeper levels of love. That's also possible, of course. And I feel this is going to be a really good connection as well. Because look how they are close together. Sure, it's about chemistry, but they're both fully dressed. There's nothing really sexual about it. And he seems to be really protective of her. And she is leaning into him, so she's trusting him, and they're really connecting, absolutely really connecting, because there is this divine light there, and she's doing that with her fingers, so they are connecting with that. And hang about, I will have to hurry up now. I'm running out of time. Yeah, and just keep an open mind, because this soulmate might differ from your usual type and expectations, and that might be one of these things that you have to let go of, that you have this fixed view of what they should look like, because maybe you want someone who's like your father, or exactly the opposite of your father, or maybe your mother told you stuff like you should go for this type of man, whatever, you know. It could be connected to these cards one way or another. Maybe you have to let go of some fixed view, what your soulmate has to be like, look like, behave like, etc., etc. And that might actually block it from coming in. So, yeah, very, very positive. Very positive. I hope that resonated, and yeah, please give me some feedback, you know, because this for me was also a big reading to do, and the flowchart ID using these cards like that for me is also new and unusual, but I really enjoyed it. So I hope you did too. Please let me know, and yeah, what you thought of it, and if you enjoyed it. I'm gonna thank you for watching, and have a wonderful summer solstice. You can come back to this reading later on with another question on another subject, and go through it again, make different choices, and follow a different path from this card, for instance, for a different subject, and see if it resonates. You know, be playful with it. You can use it for the various things. So just please try for one subject to not choose several cards. Just stick to the one card, otherwise the reading is just rendered useless. Righty, thank you for watching. I hope you will give me the feedback, and see you again very, very soon. Bye bye.